Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded, but I did get pretty busy at work, and so I didn't get to finish editing this video until now. Um, but here we are in the 121 Hakim apartment. I'm trying to figure out, oh, the sim that lives here is I kind of want him to be a detective. I know I have like two other Sims that are already detectives, but I wanted him to be one too. And so I figured I'd show you how I did his apartment. It actually did take me a while because there were some spaces that I didn't know. Um, I just didn't know what to do with it. Um, so I start with, I guess you can say, the easy spaces in the house first, like the kitchen, and of course you see me like moving that fridge back and forth because of that little nook. I really couldn't figure out if I wanted to close it or leave it as is. Um, yeah. Um, this one, I think it took me like 3 hours to furnish, and you know, I I honestly don't know why it took me so long. There are some houses where or builds that I just know exactly what I want, but this one was one of those that I was just like, I don't know what to do. Um, so here I am changing the colors of the counters and the cupboards. I think at one point I just couldn't figure out if it was the same color or if I wanted that color. In the end, I decide to just make it very clean, like white counters, white cupboards, and most of my Sims furniture in this apartment is also white and like glass. So kind of modern. I've been doing a lot of modern builds lately. I do have plans of doing a craftsman home, so it's a little more um, I don't know how to explain it, like more colonial looking, I guess. Um, but we'll see. I do want to make a kind of museum retail place for my archeolo- arch- here I go again, for my sim who's an archaeologist. Um, just so she can make money too, you know? I did cheat to be able to furnish her house and to be able to get that house in the first place, but um, going to Salvadorado does take a lot of money. So, yeah. So I might do that next, or I might do the craftsman home. I'm not too sure yet. It really depends on what I have time for. Um, what am I doing? I think I'm trying to figure out which table works the most. I do end up using this one, and I do move it a couple of times. Actually, it's not even a couple. I probably move it plenty of times in this entire video, and you will see me kind of just shuffling it around because, like I said, there were some spaces that I just didn't know what to do with. Um, so yeah, if you would rather see me do the little retail store or the craftsman home, do let me know in the comments down below. Um, and I mean, we'll see. I'm leaning towards doing the kind of retail more just because it's a little something different. Like I've been um, furnishing apartments and homes and just building more homes and actual like retail um, spaces lately. I think the last one I did was the bake shop, and it was like a super huge build. So I was trying to figure out what to put behind that couch because I felt like if I pushed it all the way back, there was just so much space in front. And so I do the little bookshelf trick again. I really do like this. I like how it looks. I'm the type of person too who buys books a lot. It's funny because even though I'm still reading one, I still buy a couple and then I just have like a long list of books that I have to read. Um but I really do like how it looks. When me and my husband do have a bigger space, I'm really looking forward to just having, you know, a nice place to display all the books I've um collected over the years. And it's not all fiction books. I do have a couple of cookbooks because of when I was going to culinary school. I really did like looking through different recipe books or just you know books on certain topics like desserts. Um, yeah, I it's not how much books I have, honestly. It sucks because a bunch of them are in storage, and I know with stuff being in storage, it's not always the best thing. Like they do get ruined, and it kind of makes me sad. But I really don't have space to put them anywhere here. Okay, so I really wanted to use one of those big closets instead of the dressers. Um, and so um, I did try moving the bathroom or trying to see if I can maybe move the kitchen around, but I decided, nah, not worth the effort. But this worked out. Like, thankfully, there was a smaller closet that did take up too much space. Um, so I do try to put as many like plants as I could in this build. I do really like how it looks when you just have a bunch of greenery in the house. Um, I'm not quite sure if I'm the type of person that can keep a plant alive. I I just never really tried as much. I think I was kind of scared too because my mom has like the opposite of a green thumb. Um, there was once she was at her sister's house, my auntie's, and she saw this plant that she really liked. And so she starts playing with it and like touching its leaves. Like, I guess she was pinching it or something. And I heard that from that leaf that she touched, the plant just died. Like, it just dried out and just spread. And so now, whenever she does go to my auntie's house, my my auntie just hides all her plants. She keeps it away from my mom. Um, and in the house, if there's a plant, you know, that we have that's dying, we just automatically have my dad take care of it. Um, and it works out, I guess. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of afraid because when I lived um, by myself, I did get this little potted plant, and I was always in such a hurry to get to work. And by the time I got home, I was just always so tired. I mean, can you imagine? I was doing 12, 14-hour days in the kitchen, and I was just like, I sometimes I'd even forget to shower. I know it's so gross, but um, I really would just pass out the instant I got home. And my plant died or dried out. My dad did come to visit, and he noticed that it was drying out, and so he did take care of it for me, and it kind of bloomed again. But yeah, I I'd like to think I can take care of plants. It's more of a matter of whether or not I'd forget um, to water it. Maybe succulents would be better. Yeah, I really do like how succulents look, and I feel like they're less maintenance. Which is funny because I remembered buying like a packet of seeds back then and being like, oh, I'm gonna plant this in front of my apartment. Yeah, I never did. Mm, wow, this is kind of frustrating. What am I doing? I think I was trying to move this in the corner as much as possible, and it just kept glitching through the walls. I think at some point I just stopped because I was like, no. I do cut it out of this video though, so it's not just like 5 minutes of just nothing going on. But yeah. Um, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do really like having like that little tissue box almost all over the house. I do have it on the bedside table sometimes. And of course in the bathrooms. And one of the reasons is because of allergies. I always have to blow my nose, and I just like having it, handy right next to me. And I also um I think they're puffs. I think that's what they're called. The puffs with lotion, that way my nose doesn't dry out. I've always hated that, like before they came out with the whole um like tissue with lotion, my nose would always dry out when I had a really bad cold because I was constantly blowing my nose and just rubbing it, and it was always red and dry, and I hated it. Um, yeah, if you guys have um, bad colds, do you know how I feel? Um, it's funny because even at work, I always have like a little box next to me. Um, well, right now, since I work on a desk, it's fine. It's not really in my way. But when I was in the kitchen, it was like we had this little counter on top, and it was always there. What am I doing now? Oh, I really liked that couch, and I really wanted to use it, but it just didn't quite work out. With the way the house was starting to look. Um, I think I'm just cluttering stuff up right now because I don't know what to do with the rest of the space. I usually tend to I don't know if you guys know this, but usually I tend to make the second bedroom like a study. But I think for this one I do decide on making it like a guest room. Um, I was playing around with making it a study at first, but I was just like, no, that would leave way too much empty space that I don't know what to do with. And so I do put my Sim's little like desk outside close to the living area, and I do just put like a little divider to kind of separate it. I really like that jar. I don't know why I didn't use it in my other builds. I think I was using the one with like the kind of drippy paint design. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to clutter this table area. I don't want to use another like animal sculpture, and so I just try to find something that worked. I like this one. I liked it all small and stuff too. Dang, it really takes a while just cluttering up this space. I never realized how long it takes to clutter up space. You will notice me going around a lot like that, just like rotating my camera, trying to figure out just what the heck I'm gonna do. Of course, I decided, oh, I need a plant here too. So I had to shove my little sculptures a bit, and I move those also just so they're a little more close together and not really spaced too far apart. Um, Again, I really do like this plant too, especially sized up. It's cute when it's small, but when I need something to kind of take up space, I do size it up. And here I am again with the dining. I was thinking maybe I should make a bigger one, but it didn't make sense. Like, would my sim have a bunch of people over for like dinner or something? And it just didn't make sense to me to have a huge table. So originally I did want his desk area over there. Like, I felt like it kind of made sense, and then I decided no, it not really. it doesn't really make sense. So I do move it, and then of course I move the dining table again. I do move the study or the desk, I mean, a couple of times into the room and then out. And I figured, oh, maybe I should try putting a bar. And I actually was live streaming this video, and I guess it cut out, so it did catch what else I did trying to figure out what to do with the space. But obviously I did get rid of the little bar. Here I'm trying to fill the study area or office space. I keep saying study. But yeah, I do move it out and then back in and then back out again. just to prove how indecisive I am. I am. Hopefully when me and my husband do have our own place, I'm not gonna be like that, moving stuff around constantly. I feel like it would drive him nuts. um I know I do decide on putting like shrunken down versions of that shelf again on this side. I was thinking of another sitting area, but I was just like, nah, like it's way too close to the living space already in another sitting area. Like sometimes it works, but for in this case I was just like, nah. Mm, I think I moved that divider a bunch too. I should have kept it like that. I felt like the desk would have been fine there in the living area, but mm, who knows? Who knows why I decided to move it? I filled this. I filmed this quite some time ago, so who knows what was going through my mind back then. Mm. So I do decide on another sitting area, um, by the dining area. I figured it'd be like a nice little space just to um, relax again, um, since it is a brighter area, I think, with the windows on um, right there on the corners. I was thinking like, oh, like a little, you know, if reading area, I guess. And I do put glitter there with like the teapot and the coffee, the antique coffee thing too. So I thought, mm, cute, with a little fireplace, really cozy. Mm, okay. I was just like, what am I doing? And I think it was because those shelves weren't really flush against the wall, and so I moved them. I do like this plant too. I like it when it's small and I like it when it's sized up. What am I doing? Of course, mirrors as usual. In my last build, I do use um, mirrors along one side of the wall in the living area in my archaeologist's house. Oh, I didn't stutter. I didn't stutter with that word for once. There we go, the teapot. And I'm cluttering up the kitchen. I didn't want to clutter up the space too much. I felt like my sim isn't really the type to have a ton of clutter. Like maybe just a couple here and there. Um, and it made the space look kind of lived in, but I didn't want a ton. Um, Sometimes I really like how it looks when there's a lot, well, not a lot, but a significant amount of clutter. And other times I like it just very, just very clean, I guess is the word. What am I doing? I think I'm trying to figure out the whole rug situation. I really like that rug, and I figured, oh, that'd probably be nicer in the living room, and I do move the rugs around a couple of times. Was that ramen bowl? I think it was. I think that was my same reaction when I um pulled that rug out. I was like, a ramen bowl? Mm, ramen does sound good right now. It is raining. It has been raining um for a while, and I like the rain. I do, but I hate having to drive in the rain. I have horrible, well, not horrible, but I suffer from night blindness, and so when it's dark, it's always just so hard for me to drive, and it becomes like 10 times worse for me when it rains. It's I think it's the lights. When it's a two-way street, as is most, roads, with the headlights of the cars heading the opposite direction, it just blinds me. Like I I squint. Like I try not to, but it really hurts. And so um I I would just rather not drive at night, especially if it's raining at all. Um just cuz you know how fast people can drive on the freeways even though it's raining. It's scary. And yeah, if I do have to drive in the rain and at night, I'd probably be on the rightmost lane going as fast as I possibly can without being pulled over for driving so slow. Um but yeah. Um I just have night blindness. It sucks. Um and my husband always does remind me to wear my glasses, and they help a little bit just because they do have um, anti glare lenses, but they don't help me that much. Um, but I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do. I used to leave the house at 5 in the morning, and of course, it would still be dark. Then, when my hours did change with my shift in department, um, during when it was like peak winter season, it would get dark by like 5, and so I was always driving into dark anyway on the way home, and back then on the way to work. Um, but things are getting better with daylight savings and everything. It's a lot brighter out when I leave work now at like 5. So I'm glad for that. I'm just not looking forward to summer, even though it means more daylight, because I don't like the heat. I just don't. Um, there's only so much clothes you can take off, but when it's cold, you can just keep bundling up. Um, anyway, I think I'm almost about done. I'm just adding like final decorations so the walls aren't so plain. And I'm sure you've noticed that I kept the walls just plain white all over this house, and I just it worked. Since everything was very clean, very white, I figured my sim wouldn't want a whole bunch of different colors um, for wallpaper as well. I do always like having this little area by the entrance, with just a little accent table. In this case, I did use um, a dresser because I really liked how it looked. So I got rid of all the lights that I had up, just to, you know, help me decorate in the light. Uh, and I replace it with these kind of origami um, chandeliers. Um, I think I really wanted to use those lights, but I figured, nah, they dangle too much, and with the cupboards opening and stuff, it didn't make sense to have my lights hanging down um, like that. Where if my sim was trying to reach up, he'd probably hit those lights or something. So yeah, let me know in the comments below which build you guys want me to do next, whether it's a craftsman home or the little retail store. Either way, I will get to both of them. It's just a matter of which one I do first. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!